Dallas's Patrick DeHaan says stations will spend a considerable time under $3 a gallon, but occasionally you'll see prices go back up, all because of a price cycle. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Back to school season arrives in Indiana. It's time to focus on school supplies and those home projects you've been delaying. Don't worry. With Moss Roofing, you're not alone. They're here to help with your roofing and siding, making sure your home is a safe place for math homework each and every day. Choose Moss Roofing to transform your home's exterior with top-notch James Hardy siding, protecting your home from those Indiana storms and enhancing your curb appeal. Their inspections are always free, and they'll even give you a 3D design link so you can visualize the makeover before they even begin. Talk to Moss Roofing today, a second-generation family business based right here in Central Indiana. For a job done right every single time. I love when they do that. MossRoofing.com, 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, MossRoofing.com.
With traffic in the 5s at 3:05, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. 65 southbound brakes between 21st and Meridian. 465 eastbound taps of brakes from Keystone to Allisonville. And on the west side, a little backup between 21st and Rockville on 465. This report brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Incorporated. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies expected for the day today. It is going to be warm with low humidity. Highs around 87. A few clouds tonight with lows falling to 58. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's...
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there for the second time in as many months. An attempt on the life of a former president has been made, this time Donald Trump, down in Mar-a-Lago on the golf course, hundreds of yards from gunfire. Again, the second time a president has been hundreds of yards from within gunfire. Now, this time around, the gunfire was not directed at Donald Trump. Some Secret Service guys saw the barrel of a gun out of some brush there at the golf course, opened fire. They eventually caught this guy. Of course, you remember a couple of months ago, Hammer, that gunfire directed at Donald Trump, and if not for the grace of God, by a turn of his head, is still alive today. Came within inches of going straight into his brain. So this is crazy. I'm not sure exactly who to blame here, if there is blame. I want to believe the Secret Service was doing their job. There is an eagle eye. You know, they go and inspect the holes that are above, a couple holes in front of Donald Trump. And again, they just happened to see the barrel of a gun. I mean, that's like some eagle eye type stuff.
I have so many questions about this, though.
Oh, yeah. I still have questions about the original one.
So this wasn't like a pre-planned golf outing for number 45.
No.
This was like a spur of the moment, last minute. I've got some time. Let's play some golf.
He was taking a day off from the campaign at Mar-a-Lago.
Yet the report comes out today that states this guy had been at that golf course for 12 hours awaiting the president. They found multiple bags and ammo and scopes. So even though he didn't fire a shot at the president, he wanted to.
He had a bulletproof vest, that he was ready for a gunfight, obviously. He had a GoPro camera, wanted to document the whole thing. I'm speculating that he wanted to document the whole thing. I don't know what else you'd be expecting from a guy with a bulletproof vest, AK-47s, GoPro cameras. It is very suspicious.
And how did he know Trump was going to be there on this random day off? Did he just assume he was going to go play golf? Did he just guess right?
Well, how did he get on the course? How did he get was this within the security perimeter of the golf course at the club?
Trump was about 400 yards away, according to officials. Here are Rafael Barros of the Secret Service and the Palm Beach County Sheriff, Rick Bradshaw.
Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag. Now, in the bushes where this guy was, an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro. An agent jumps 1 hole ahead of time to where the president was at, and he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. We have somebody in custody right now.
You know, when he said the word ceramic tile, it just hit me, because a regular bulletproof vest cannot withstand high-powered rifles, you know, in an exchange of gunfire. But those, and this is something we could ask Gunday about when he comes in, the ceramic tiles that you insert into the vest can. That's crazy.
So what we know about the attempted assassin is that it's 58-year-old Ryan Ruth. Ruth is from Hawaii. He owns some small construction company. He has a criminal record, including a 2002 incident where he was found with a machine gun and convicted of possessing a weapon of mass destruction. Of course, been highly critical of Trump on social media, claims that he voted for Trump in 2016. So something happened, if he's telling the truth, and Lord knows if he is or not, but something happened from 2016 to 2024. Did he become super radicalized? And if so, how? Maybe he's been watching a lot of MSNBC, CNN. Perhaps he's listened to a lot of high-profile Democratic politicians. Maybe he watched the DNC, where one speech after the other was, he's a threat to democracy, he's going to do this to the Constitution.
Do away with elections, throw journalists in jail. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. He's been compared to Hitler for years and years and years, Donald Trump has. So
right.
You could imagine, boy, this existential threat to democracy, I better do something about this.
And I was told we were going to turn down the temperature after the first
The temperature has not been turned
attempted
down.
assassination, and that lasted all of 2 days, and then it went back to being a threat to democracy. And it's wild to me, and somewhat ironic, that the party that is scared to death of guns, the party that wants to take guns away and they're so terrified of anybody having a weapon, they're the party shooting at their political rivals. Not just Donald Trump, but go back to the softball game, the congressional practice that Steve Scalise and the Republicans were at when the crazy motivated Bernie bro opened up fire. This is a habitual thing that happens with the political left here. And then you've got the media reaction. There are so many layers to this story. Like, we're just now cracking the onion here, so to speak. The media is a part of this story. Listen to Lester Holt. Now, again, this isn't some, guy that does a podcast from his basement. This is Lester Holt, the face of NBC News, opening up the news last night, basically in his roundabout way saying because Donald Trump was critical of the Haitians in Ohio that may or may not be eating dogs, that's why this happened.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
So wait, somebody wakes up from a coma and you tell them, wow, they tried to assassinate the president for a second time. What? Wait a minute. Why? What's he trying to do? Is he trying to, take over the world? Is he trying to rip up the Constitution? Is he trying? He said Haitians in Springfield were eating dogs and cats. That's what he's saying there.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Allison, I want you to play this one more time. Again, listen to the open of NBC News. Listen to how long Lester Holt talks about the rhetoric in Ohio and how few seconds he talks about, oh, by the way, he was the subject of another assassination attempt.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
Wow, just glossed right over the fact that this was the second attempt made on a former president's life in as many months.
And he wasn't the only one. Don't get it twisted here. You've got the crazy Vindman family. Remember, there was Colonel Vindman from the Ukraine story. His lunatic wife has a podcast. She put out some crazy posts this weekend. And then you have David from the Atlantic.
Famous never Trumper, was a Republican, worked for George W. Bush, and hates anything and everything having to do with Trump and or his supporters.
This was his tweet, quote, Trump and his running mate have spent the past week successfully inciting violence in Springfield, Ohio. Today, they want to present themselves as near victims of violence, in this case, of violence completely unrelated to themselves and at a very safe distance from themselves.
Well, that was a word salad.
And the way they're bending over backwards to try to justify it. Listen when these lunatics try to tell you who they are. Like, I have never been somebody that says vote straight ticket, mainly because a lot of these Republicans are total zeros. I get it. Trust me. I did not vote for Jefferson Shreve. Now, I sure as hell didn't vote for Boss Hogshead, but I've always thought, man, if somebody doesn't warrant your vote, screw them. But I'm almost at the point to where I'm straight ticket this election. You have to send a message to these lunatics, these people that think this is okay, that their rhetoric's not the problem. It's your fault. It's Donald Trump's fault that he's getting shot. It's unacceptable, and eventually you have to make a stand. All right, Alan Green is filling in for Matt Baer.
65 southbound slows a bit now between 29th and Meridian. 465 eastbound taps the brakes Keystone to Allisonville. And 465 southbound look for some delays from 21st to Washington. This report brought to you by Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park, featuring over 200 exhibitors September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindieshows.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We're going to get Guy Relford in here in just a little bit, and he's going to tell us about the weapon and whether the average person that isn't really a sharpshooter per se could have had a clean shot on the president with a scope. He's going to break all that kind of stuff down for us coming up in just a little bit. Plus, unfortunately, we're going to have to talk to Kevin Bowen about that Colts debacle.
Boy.
What a kick to the taint that game was. Good Lord. Daisy from the Chicks on the Right is going to be here. And by popular demand, we have a round of fun facts for kids coming up later on.
No.
Let's have a day, boys and girls. Let's have fun. 88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Yeah, I had my Window Nation windows installed a few years ago. They look great, and I remember they replaced an entire front house full of windows in a day, left my place cleaner than before the install. Here's one of their customers, Vicky. She says that she couldn't be happier with the product as well as the installers. Very kind, very professional, clearly very knowledgeable, and extremely respectful of their property. From start to finish, it was a great experience.
Now is the time to call Window Nation and at least get an estimate. Okay? Because this deal is going to save you thousands of dollars. And before the nasty cold weather moves in, you might want to think about making a change. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. No limit. Plus, 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 24 months. Call Window Nation and schedule that estimate right now. 866-90-NATION. Or go to windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION. But you got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Mike loves the fall in Indy, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
C&J's Water Softener Deal gets you a free reverse osmosis with any softener purchase of 30,000 grains or larger. C&J softeners are the state-of-the-art and most reliable units on the market today. And listen, hard water causes all sorts of problems, from dry skin and hair to clogged pipes and water stains. C&J's water softeners can help you prevent all those issues, so take advantage of this great softener deal and get a free reverse osmosis unit included. C&J, great systems and great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-9369, 800-525-9369, 800-525-9369.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard air dealer serving Central Indiana.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah, it's a Hammer and Nigel Road Show this Friday. The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show, Grand Park. You can get your tickets cheap right now, too. It's something like $7, man. Games, like a huge game show zone prizes, lots of stuff for the kids, exhibits, experts, and then all the stuff that comes along with those home and outdoor living shows, man. It's going to be fun.
So let's get there this Friday. Let's pack the joint. Let's make a scene. Let's have some beers and see how loud we can get. Let's do that. Exactly that.
Okay.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, Westfield, Grand Park. We are going to be at your city this Friday, the Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. Get your tickets. Hemorrhoids, Nigerians, we all need to get together and drink. Let's do that this upcoming Friday. Again, one of our favorite YouTube channels is this place called There I Ruined It.
Oh, is it really?
It's one of mine. Is it not one of yours?
Well, it's just the songs that I've come to know and grow and love. They really ruin them. They really,
no
really
lies
ruin
detected then, right?
Right.
No lies detected. There I ruined it. So they put together this little montage here. Tell me if you like this. This is what Imagine Dragons sound like to people who don't like Imagine Dragons, okay?
Okay.
First things first, first things second, first, second, third things third. Last things first, second things last, first, last, second things third. I was broken from a young age, shaking my soul into the masses, running my
this is great.
I was choking, I was smoking. But they never did, ever did, ever never one inhibited, limited, limited, ever did, inhibited.
That was fantastic. All right, I take back everything I said about this channel.
Right?
Because I used to listen to this all the time with my kids. Every one of those songs on those first couple of albums, when I would take my kids to the in-laws and drop them off for the day, we'd listen to Imagine Dragons. That pretty much summed up every Imagine Dragons song there is right there. That's hilarious. Didn't ruin it for me.
Good. According to a new report, there are a list of the most unhealthy menu items in America's fast food chains, and Five Guys has a lot of them.
Uh-oh. Love Five Guys.
I do too. Five Guys listed as having the most unhealthy cheeseburger, followed by Whataburger and Smash Burger.
Well, yeah, the thing with Five Guys is their quote-unquote cheeseburger is automatically a double cheeseburger unless you order the small. I do usually order the small if I'm forced to consume Five Guys.
But then if you order like a side of fries, there's no side of fries. Here's a bag, fatty.
They fill up the bag no matter what size you ask for.
Here's a big-ass bag of fries, you fat piece of crap. Thank you for coming to Five Guys.
Now, Whataburger is pretty much predominantly in the South. Is Smash Burger an actual restaurant?
Yes.
Because I know that's a type of burger that I've ordered at several different places.
I don't know if there's any in Indy. I've had a Whataburger at the Dallas airport.
Yeah, good stuff.
Pretty good. Good portion size there. Now, when it comes to the chicken sandwich, never forget, we're just a couple years removed from the deadly chicken sandwich wars where Popeyes and Chick-fil-A went head-to-head and thousands of people died.
That might be somewhat inaccurate. But go ahead.
Popeyes is listed as having the most unhealthy chicken sandwich, followed by Fatburger and Zaxby's. Now, to be fair, I think if you walk into a joint called Fatburger, you kind of know what you're getting isn't going to be on the healthy side, right?
Popeyes chicken sandwiches are huge. I haven't had very many, but that one time the guy brought us in the spicy chicken.
Oh, man.
Mayo. That was the one that the all-elusive Popeyes chicken sandwich that nobody could find.
People were fighting for it. Hot take for you. If you're just talking about basic chicken sandwich, take the spicy out of the equation. KFC's is really good.
Never had it.
Oh, man. Do not sleep on KFC's original chicken sandwich.
It's still got the original recipe?
Yeah.
Even though it's not on the bone?
Totally.
Okay.
Really
All
good.
right.
Let's talk about chicken nuggets. And again, chicken nuggets. Don't say nugs. If you're a grown-ass man, don't say the word nugs.
Whenever I hear nugs, I think you're referring to your testicles.
Ugh. Well, I'm glad that you're not thinking of my testicles now. It's just the mere thought of you thinking about my testicles just made me about throw up.
Me too.
The most unhealthy chicken nuggets, Popeyes, again, followed by Arby's and Shake Shack.
Love Shake Shack.
If you're going to use the word healthiest, and I'm using air quotes there, McDonald's had the best of the chicken nuggets when it comes to a health factor.
You go on YouTube and you actually search out how McDonald's makes their chicken McNuggets. You'll never eat one again.
Bull crap. I want some right now. I've seen the video. You bring me a 20-piece right now, and I will destroy it. I once destroyed your brother, Nigel, in a chicken nugget eating contest at the old podcast.
My brother Adam, you washed him down with, I believe, a glass of tequila?
Warm tequila. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very
all right.
exciting.
Before we hit a break here, how about caller number 9, 239-9393. You will get 4 tickets to go watch Hammer and Nigel this Friday at the Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. You don't have to go Friday. You could go anytime from the 20th to the 22nd at Grand Park. But we're giving you the tickets, damn it. Come out and see us and party with us on Friday. 239-9393. You win a 4-pack of tickets. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's common knowledge
knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code EASY, or text EASY to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code EASY.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text EASY to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Did you know you can experience the ultimate rejuvenation with our unique hot tubs made right here in Indianapolis? Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs compatible with Epsom salts. Imagine the tensions melting away as you step into the luxury of a Royal Spa hot tub. And now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We built our inventory back up and now have new models, scratch and dents, and even demos ready for delivery. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Royal Spa.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Truck drivers, it's time to drive for a company that values your time. At Midwest Logistics Systems, you'll get home every day and have a predictable Monday through Friday schedule with occasional Saturdays. Plus, you'll enjoy the convenience of driving out and back routes and hauling no-touch, mostly drop-and-hook freight. MLS drivers also earn performance and safety bonuses and have access to a comprehensive benefits package. Explore our selection of local dedicated driving jobs and apply today at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It could take some time. 87 degrees with a blend of clouds and some sunshine in the heart of downtown. Radar's clear. Temps drop below 60 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Determining the motive behind the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump Sunday is probably going to take a while, says former Indianapolis FBI agent Doug Coons.
They'll have to get court orders to get into his communication devices, his phone, his computers, to see some of that, and that takes a little bit of time. So this will unfold over the next few weeks.
Ryan Wesley Ruth was arrested for aiming an AK-47 at Trump and setting up a GoPro to film what might have been his assassination. Body cam footage from Ruth's arrest is out.
Driver, take 2 steps to your right. Take 2 steps to your right. Driver, walk straight back.
That's what it sounded like when several officers surrounded Ruth's car with their weapons out to make the arrest. Martin County Sheriff William Snyder says he's happy that Ruth was put in handcuffs without any issue. With drought conditions only getting worse in Indiana, there are some things you can do to be proactive.
For those that care about their lawn, continuing to water the lawn. Thankfully, we're not talking like water supply issues with this level of drought yet. But as things continue to get further on, there may be some kind of restrictions.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says if you live in a county with a burn ban, it's best if you don't burn anything outside at all. The goal is to turn Indianapolis into a global sports destination. Ryan Hetrick explains who's behind the effort and how they plan to pull it off.
The Indiana Sports Corp's 5-point plan outlines its vision clearly. Gary Dick from Inside Indiana Business says it's a comprehensive strategy looking ahead 25 years and covering every detail.
Where sports business, sports technology, women's sports, entrepreneurs, anyone involved in the sports industry, all of those things, 5 pillars.
Dick, speaking with WIBC's Tony Katz, says Indy's plan is similar to what they're doing in Cincinnati. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the average price for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.07, says GasBuddy.com. It's about 9 cents cheaper than the national average. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code EASY, or text EASY to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code EASY.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text EASY to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
With traffic at 3:34, what's going on, Alan Green?
Hey, Harrison. 65 southbound backs up between 29th and Meridian. 465 eastbound, a delay from Westfield to Allisonville. Southbound is tight from 21st to Rockville on the west side. And 69 southbound taps the brakes from 82nd into 465. This report brought to you by Indy Decorative Concrete. There's still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete, patio experts. No subcontractors ever, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thanks, Alan. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear or low temperatures in the upper 50s. Another quiet forecast for Tuesday, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
To a attorney, firearms instructor, the host of the Gun Guy Show, and damn fine American. He is Guy Relford. Guy, how are you?
Man, I'm great, guys, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
So, Guy, what can you tell us about the weapon that was found at the scene with the latest attempt to assassinate former President Donald Trump?
Yeah, this is really interesting because, the press is reporting this as an AK-47 type firearm. And other reports, they just called it an AK-47. And a lot of us looking at the pictures of this gun don't necessarily think that's what it is. And to start at the beginning, it's clearly some form of older Russian rifle, or based on a Russian design, maybe is a better way to put it, because a lot of countries have manufactured them over the years. But it's really whichever particular model of gun it is. I can tell you guys that it would not be the rifle of choice if I'm going to take a 400 to 500 yard shot, at a man-sized target. I can think of an infinite number of guns that I would much rather have, and it's just kind of odd to me that would be the gun that this guy would select. But we think it's probably either an SKS, which is actually sort of a predecessor of the AK-47. It was designed by a different person, although also a Russian, designed as an infantry rifle. It's been modified. It looks to have a polymer stock on it. It looks to have been modified to accept a detachable magazine, which is often done with those guns. But they're relatively common. There's a nexus here. If it is an SKS, that was actually the style of rifle used by the person with a long history of mental issues that committed the murder of a beloved Indianapolis police officer Jake Laird, who gave rise to the Indiana Jake Laird statute, is what we call a red flag statute. But at any rate, we think it's a Russian rifle. It more than likely fires what's called a 7.62 by 39 cartridge, which has a relatively limited range. And even to put that in perspective, when I say this isn't the rifle that I'd choose, at 400 yards, that cartridge, whether it's coming out of an AK or an SKS, barrel length has a little bit of an impact, but whichever gun it's coming out of, that cartridge at 400 yards is probably dropping somewhere around 5 feet from where you're aiming it. At 500 yards, it goes up to 10 feet. So you'd have to be a good enough shot and know enough about your rifle, know enough about ballistics, know enough about long-range trajectories to adjust your shot by up to 10 feet higher than where your target is in order to hit your target at 500 yards. That's not a rifle that I would choose for the application. And it just makes it interesting to me to really find out more and more about this guy, although we've got some pretty interesting information coming out about him already.
So, long story short here, this would be a challenging shot for somebody that would not be considered a sharpshooter or a marksman, and with the weapon that he chose.
Yeah, the combination of weapon and distance, I think you'd really have to know what you're doing to make that shot. It's doable, but man, hell, I own 3 different rifles that I would choose well ahead of that one. And so, this guy, his social media presence makes him sound like he's some sort of self-perceived mercenary out, trying to drum up troops to help the Ukrainians and whatnot. And I don't know why someone like that wouldn't have his hands on a competent long-range rifle. I mean, Grandpa's deer rifle in .308 or 300 Win Mag or any number of other calibers would be a hell of a lot better gun. And there are unlimited numbers of those floating around because they're great hunting rifles for taking distant shots. Any of those would be vastly superior to this gun. It just makes me really curious about who this guy is and what his background really is.
What does it say to you, Guy, that and I'm just quoting this off of a story, exactly what they found in the bushes in the woods? They found an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, which you sort of have kind of said that may or may not be exactly what it is, but they found 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them and a GoPro camera. The ceramic tile to me was very interesting, as well as the camera. What does that say to you about maybe some of the possible intentions the would-be assassin had, especially when it comes to that ceramic tile?
Yeah, the ceramic plates are kind of a more modern version and a somewhat lighter weight version of the steel plates that law enforcement and soldiers have used in body armor for years and years. In fact, when I was choosing the kind of body armor I wanted to own, just for self-defense purposes, I went with ceramic plates because they're still relatively heavy because they're thick. But they're less weight than steel plates would be. So they're a little more expensive. They're a little more sophisticated. That's kind of on the opposite end of the rifle selection this guy had. Ceramic plates are a little more high end, a little more sophisticated. But it says that that he was anticipating getting shot at,
yes.
Or at least there was that possibility. And if so, he wanted to have some protection. And it's not unheard of, by the way, for people to take that don't necessarily, they're not wearing body armor in the form of a plate carrier that's got plates inserted into it, like you see law enforcement and military members wearing. It's fairly common for people to put ceramic plates in backpacks, and even have a couple of backpacks. One you can swing around and have in front of you. One you're carrying in the traditional location on your back, and it functions pretty much just like body armor at that point.
Guy, go back to the weapon itself and the range that it's most efficient here. One of the theories that we're hearing is that this guy, who had apparently been camping out at the golf course for 12 plus hours unnoticed, was waiting for Donald Trump to get a little closer. He was only on, I think, the 5th green when the Secret Service realized what was going on and fired those shots at him. Had Donald Trump, let's say, made it to the 12th green or something like that, this could have been a really bad situation then, right?
Yeah, and even at 400 or 500 yards, like I said, if somebody knows what they're doing, that's a makeable shot. I don't know what the closest point would have been. I've not seen it disclosed in the media what the closest point between where this guy was, where he was set up with his rifle and his optic to a point on the golf course where President Trump would have been, preferably in a stationary position. If you're a sniper in that situation, I don't know if that was within 100 yards or 50 or whatever. I don't know. But as that distance goes down with that particular style of rifle, then your odds go way up because, out to 100, 200 yards, an AK is a, perfectly acceptable firearm. It just, as it gets to longer distances, there's a severe drop-off with that particular round of ammo that you got to be able to compensate for.
So Trump's moving through the golf course. He's got this bubble of security. There's other Secret Service agents ahead of him. One of the agents was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and out of the brush there on the golf course, and then proceeded to immediately engage with this guy. How much of an eagle eye do you have to see a barrel sticking out of a fence or some sort of brush? I can imagine it's not. You have to know what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that's exactly the kind of thing that they are looking for.
Yes.
But if it's sticking out, from a bush and it's sticking out, over the sidewalk, I don't know, that wouldn't be fairly apparent. By the way, that definitely tells me this guy has no training or experience as a sniper, or he was trying to get caught, because an experienced sniper knows you don't ever stick your barrel out. Like, in movies, you'll see a sniper and they're set up in a window and you can see a foot or 2 feet of the rifle barrel sticking out of the window. An experienced sniper would never do that. They'd be all the way across the room, inside the room, with a window open, back where it's dark, back where you can't see, set up on top of a desk or a table, well back from the window. You'd never stick the muzzle of your firearm out of your cover when you're in a sniper position. Just the opposite. You back way back in, even if you're adding 10 feet or whatever it is to your shot, so be it, because you're not going to be seen that way. And sticking your rifle muzzle out of your cover like this guy did tells me he had no clue what he was doing as a sniper.
Guy, can you stick around for one more break with us?
You betcha.
All right. Monday Gunday, Guy Relford. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center. Our multidisciplinary care team will guide you every step along the way.
It was very overwhelming at first, but I found this whole community of people who are understanding and just very supportive. So I have a lot of thankfulness and gratefulness for who I am through this and after this.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
At Shane Company, we make finding your perfect engagement ring fun and easy. Because let's be honest, you might feel a little stressed out. We get it. That's why we do all the hard stuff. It's our job to bring you the biggest selection of beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones, so many amazing settings, and all the customization your heart desires. We've got your style and your price range covered, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Come in for a warm welcome and leave with your dream ring and an experience you'll never forget. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
40 years of B Window.
And 80,000 Indiana homes with windows, doors, siding, and bats.
Pam and I are happy to announce B's 100 employees now own B Window, and Patrick Renard will lead B as CEO.
And B will continue the customer-first feeling that George and Pam built. And to celebrate B employee-owned, B's offering employee pricing 60% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payment.
Proud to be employee-owned. Woo! Trust me.
Indiana Digital Learning School is the perfect choice for students who desire an academic challenge with an educational plan tailored to their individual needs. Does your child need an education more in tune with their learning style? Do you have an advanced teen who would benefit from dual enrollment opportunities to earn high school and college credits? Indiana Digital Learning School is a tuition-free online public school now enrolling for the 2024-2025 school year. Learn more at k12.com/INDLS.
Chris Wedekin here, owner of Absolute Comfort. Our guys' experience brings us to a higher level than most other companies.
Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park.
Featuring over 200 home improvement exhibitors.
September 20th through 22nd.
Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindyshows.com.
Join WIBC this Saturday for the Home and Garden Show, live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 49th and Pennsylvania from 9 to 1. They'll be talking about the upcoming Meridian Kessler Home and Garden Tour.
Alan Green, what's up?
Hey, Hammer. 465 eastbound jams up from Westfield to Allisonville. Westbound on the south side, it's heavy from White River to Kentucky. Southbound between Crawfordsville and Washington, a delay. And 65 southbound jams up from 29th to Meridian. This report brought to you by Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park, featuring over 200 exhibitors, September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindyshows.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got sunshine, 88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's Monday, Gunday. Guy Relford joining us. And Guy, let me be the latest to welcome you to the fraternity of those who have been screwed over by Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm completely disabled. I'm kicked off of Facebook, and that apparently will become permanent unless I successfully appeal within 180 days. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on. For now, all my pages, the Gunday WIBC and my law page, everything's been shut down. But get this, guys, it's actually all your fault.
What happened?
Right?
What happened?
No, I'm totally kidding. But I got put on a naughty list. You guys remember right at the beginning of the Olympics, after the opening ceremony, and we were all mocking that ridiculous Last Supper scene and whatnot. And you guys made a Facebook post and said it's clearly our duty to mock the French the entire time of the Olympics. and so I thought that was a fabulous idea. So in the comments on your post, I told my two French jokes. One is, how many French soldiers does it take to defend Paris? And the answer is no one knows because they've never tried. And the other joke I posted was, in fact, I have a French rifle for sale, never fired, only dropped once.
Oh, I see what you did there, because they surrender a
There
lot.
you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because they surrendered, so never fired, only dropped once. So I've been telling those jokes for 30 years. they saw I have a French rifle for sale comment, Facebook did, took it down and blocked me for like a week, or took away some privileges for like a week, said, you tried to sell a gun on Facebook. And I'm like, no, it was a joke. I don't have a French Army rifle. But you can't argue with anybody. You can't give any evidence. They'll say, well, we'll review it. Well, that upheld. Now, whenever I post a picture of a gun, it's clearly not for sale, then I get some kind of sanctions. And last night, somebody asked on one of my pages about foam cutting, about how you can get a custom case, like for your rifle or your handguns, where the foam in the case is laser cut to exactly match your guns. And so I just posted a picture of this case that I had done by a guy, Wolfie's Armory out in Avon, who did it for me. And I said, yeah, this guy did my case. And I just posted a picture of the case that happened to have a gun in it. Oh, you're selling a gun on Facebook. You're permanently
so ridiculous.
Or something.
So here's what we would like. Since Hammer and Nigel's page is up, technically, even though it's completely restricted and very few people see anything, go to our page right now. You physically have to go there. Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. Find any picture, any topic, any post. Leave the comment, Zuckerberg sucks and Guy Relford was right. That's what we're asking for. Go to our Facebook page. Zuckerberg sucks. Guy Relford was right.
I love it.
Guy, how can people find you?
Well, not on Facebook.
Nope.
On Twitter or X, I'm at Guy Relford. At Guy Relford on Twitter.
Guy, you're the best. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, coming up next, Nige, we'll dive into some issues happening here in Indy. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, Galaxy Concrete Coatings did such an amazing job rehabbing my garage floor, putting a new coating on. It's 4 times as strong. Got a lifetime warranty. Very easy to clean. They were in and out within a day. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is certainly out of this world. The staff was amazing to work with. In fact, I'm so happy with Galaxy that they're coming back to do the concrete floor in my basement in the furnace room. Galaxy Concrete Coatings, they do garages, basements, pool decks, any indoor or outdoor area concrete. Check out their website to see pictures and get a quote. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or 317-751-9070.
Our goal is to provide patients with the strongest, most effective, and safest options in this exciting field of regenerative medicine.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
The idea that you can avoid a joint replacement is very exciting.
And that's from a surgeon who's done thousands of joint replacements, but who now believes there's a better way.
Regenerative medicine, as we understand it today, gives lasting pain relief, improved function, without surgery, without drugs.
Under Dr. Scheinkup's leadership, QC Kinetics medical professionals treat patients every day with the most advanced protocols in natural biologics. Literally tens of thousands of people all over America.
I've been doing research on regenerative medicine for 2 decades. This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. In Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
What is 988? It's a way forward. It's a listening ear. It's whatever help you need, when you need it. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers trained crisis specialists, ready to talk to you 24/7. If you or someone you love is experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis in their life, call or text 988. Want more information? Visit 988indiana.org.
When it's time to renovate, it's time to call Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com, because it's about the process. It's about dealing with professionals who are with you every step of the way, communicating how things work. The best craftsmen and professionals who have been doing kitchens and bathrooms in Indianapolis for 2 decades. Talk to Booher Remodeling today about how they work and why it will work for you and your new kitchen. Call 317-852-5546, 852-5546, or online at Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, we have some delightful news, and it's kind of a big deal. You're invited to the first WIBC Pop-Up Pickleball Social, presented by Franciscan Health at Craig Park in Greenwood, Saturday, September 28th. Sign up for the Pickleball Clinic. See your favorite personalities pick up their paddles, plus open play and kids' activities. All the details are at WIBC.com. Get in the game, but to stay out of the kitchen.
Oh, I see what you did there.
With Franciscan Health and 93 WIBC.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Coming up in 2 minutes, IMPD officers say they're being attacked. Tony Burgess has that story, plus more, coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
He is locked up in Florida. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The man suspected of trying to kill former President Trump during a golf outing yesterday, making a brief court appearance earlier today, charged with 2 federal firearms counts for now.
These 2 charges are the quickest way to keep him behind bars. They are possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. That means scratched off.
Fox's David Spund. Trump was golfing with friends at Trump International when Secret Service agents spotted a rifle along a fence line, 1 hole ahead of the president, and fired on the would-be assassin.
He made a quick escape from the Trump golf course, but according to a criminal complaint, he was discovered on I-95 after a witness spotted him getting into the car and took down his license plate.
The FBI says that plate was stolen and belonged to a different car. 58-year-old Ryan Ruth has a felony record in North Carolina, where he spent most of his life. He's believed to have voted for Trump once before later describing him as a buffoon over the Capitol riot and for backing out of the Iran nuclear deal. Trump railing against Democrat rhetoric in one social media post.
America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing.
President Biden during a previously scheduled event today saying there's no place for political violence and that America resolves differences peacefully at the ballot box. A Pakistani man charged with plotting to have U.S. political leaders killed pleads not guilty in federal court, believed to have been potentially targeting Trump over the killing of a top Iranian general, but also possibly other politicians on both sides of the aisle. He could face life in prison if convicted. New highs on Wall Street. The Dow up 228 at the bell to a record close, 41,622. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A problem for Indy cops. Mostly sunny, 87 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. We've got a clear radar. Low temps drop just under 60 after sundown. I'm Harrison Silcox for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 402. Police in Indianapolis say their officers were attacked several times while trying to stop street takeovers. Donnie Burgess paints the picture.
Each incident basically had the same playbook. Dozens of cars covering the road, men with masks covering their face, and when officers arrived to clear the area, they were showered with rocks, bottles, baseball bats, and much more.
And I'm telling you right now, we're not going to stand silent, and we're not going to put up with it going forward.
Which is why IMPD Chief Chris Bailey says his department is working with several agencies to track down everyone responsible. At least 7 people have been arrested so far. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Determining the motive behind the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump Sunday is going to take some time. That's according to former Indianapolis FBI agent Doug Coons.
They'll have to get court orders to get into his communication devices, his phone, his computers, to see some of that, and that takes a little bit of time. So this will unfold over the next few weeks.
Ryan Ruth was arrested for aiming an AK-47 at Trump and setting up a GoPro to film what could have been the assassination of the former president. Indiana Sports Corp's plan shows how Indianapolis will keep attracting top global events and eventually become the leading sports destination.
What they want to do in this vision over the next 25 years is to create an environment in Indianapolis and more broadly Indiana where sports business, sports technology, women's sports. They have a stated goal of becoming the capital of women's sports as well.
Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business told WIBC's Tony Katz that the plan in Indianapolis is similar to what the Cincinnati Sports Events Commission has done to bring in some business. And if you need to fill up your gas tank this week, here's some advice from Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy.
We have seen a slight uptick in the wholesale price of gasoline, and we could see Indiana's prices cycle later this week. So if it was me, I'd probably hedge my bets, and I might look to fill up on Tuesday or Wednesday in hopes that prices won't go up before that.
He says aside from the occasional price cycle, prices will keep dropping because demand is going down, and stations have changed over to using a cheaper winter blend of gasoline, typical for this time of the year. Dropping their first two games of the season is not something the Colts are worried about, says quarterback Anthony Richardson.
We know that we're a way better football team than we're presenting right now. Like I said, we got a lot to look forward to. We got 15 more guaranteed.
The Colts have the Chicago Bears next this Sunday. That game's going to be over at Lucas Oil, back on home turf. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
With traffic at 4:05, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. On the west side, 465 southbound slows up between 65 and Washington through all the ongoing construction. 465 eastbound, heavy Westfield to Allisonville. Westbound 465 on the south side breaks between White River and Kentucky, and 69 southbound slows from 82nd into 465. This report brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear or low temperatures in the upper 50s. Another quiet forecast for Tuesday, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
Hammer, you mentioned to me right before we came on the air you have some updates on President Trump's second would-be assassin.
Ryan Ruth appeared in court just a few minutes ago, shackled and laughing. He was laughing almost like this whole thing was a joke. He has been charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. The judge says he could face 20 years in prison and $500,000 in fines for that. Now, in addition to that, Fox News reporting that additional federal charges are possible. Now, throughout this whole process, the judge stated that he will remain in jail. And we also found out during this court appearance that Ralph told the court he only makes about $3,000 a month. He has no assets other than 2 trucks that are in his home state of Hawaii. And the vehicle that he used for this little escapade where he was ultimately fleeing the police was a stolen vehicle, stolen plates at the time of his arrest. And lastly, we did find out that his cell phone ping noted that he had been in that area near the golf course from 2 a.m. until around 1:30 p.m.
It's like the questions are nonstop at this point. This guy sounds like a loser to me. And his disheveled appearance, laughing at the courtroom. He has a history of, he wanted to recruit people to go to Ukraine to fight. Like, how does a guy like this get so close to the president? And the same goes for the other guy on the rooftop.
Right.
Well, it was a sloped roof, so they couldn't see him.
Why didn't you say so?
This guy was in the brush, so luckily, Secret Service. My point is, this guy doesn't appear to have any training whatsoever, and he got this close to the president. Guns were fired in proximity to the president, not at him this time. Imagine, I'm just imagining what could happen if somebody with some real training had access that he did, that this guy did, had the same access. What kind of damage could have been done then?
Thank God these crazy lunatic leftists shoot the way they govern horribly. So that's what's going on right now. The suspect just appeared in court. We'll have a little bit more for you as the afternoon goes along. Right now, let's check out what's happening in our backyard with a little legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
So you may have heard about this in the news at the top of the hour with Harrison there. There was a video going viral locally here about this Mexican Independence Day celebration in downtown. It was by the bridge near 70, by the interstate, and this was around 3 o'clock in the morning. It was one of those street takeovers where, think about like the Fast and the Furious, where everybody gathers together and they bring their cars and they're racing and they're doing donuts and a bunch of nonsense, but also a bunch of people wearing masks and hoods. When the authorities arrived, they started throwing pretty much everything they could find at the IMPD, from orange barrels to traffic cones. One vehicle was busted up. And again, if you search enough, you can find this all over social media. I showed you the video a little bit earlier.
And I just don't know why the police... There's got to be more that they can do. Yeah, they were throwing those orange barrels and various objects at the cars. I mean, the police, I want them to just get out and start unloading on these. Nothing lethal unless they're presented with lethal attempts at their life. But, you know, those throw out a ton of spike strips for these lunatics that are doing the road races. Start launching flashbangs and rubber bullets and tear gas and just, I mean, go all out to make it known that we're not going to put up with this crap.
And it's happening all the time. Chief Bailey of the IMPD had a press conference a little bit earlier. How long have we been talking about these street takeovers? Like, it's one thing if it becomes a block party where people are listening to music, smoking a little weed or something like that. Not saying I condone it, but that's different than what was happening in the wee early morning hours today. I mean, they were getting violent with the police, damaging police cars who simply just told them to go home. And why do you need to wear a mask? And why do you need to wear a hood? Are they concerned about COVID? Is that what it is? Like, hey, the last thing we want at this big gathering at 3 o'clock in the morning is to get COVID. So we're going to cover up our face, but we're also going to film it and put it all over Instagram. Ridiculous.
I think it's more about covering up their face and not being identified.
You think? Just a little bit.
It is catching COVID-19.
And this goes along with some of the numbers we got out of this weekend. From Friday through Sunday, at least 15 people shot, 3 stabbed, 3 killed. And if you break down the numbers, this is from the FOP in Indianapolis. Average of a person shot, stabbed every 4 hours in Indy, 1 killed every 24 hours, and Indianapolis remains on track for 200-plus homicides for the 5th consecutive year.
Well, wait a minute. Homicides are down, Hammer. I'm just giving you the talking points from the Hogshead administration. The victory lap, the homicides are down.
Let me guess. Sexual harassment in the office is also down over there. Yeah. But you know what the common denominator is? The record happened under your watch for both cases. You, Joe Hogsett, you, Ryan Mears, you guys. This is all you responsible for these types of numbers, and it doesn't have to be this way.
Real quick update about those street takeovers, the videos that went viral over the Mexican Independence Day celebration at 3 o'clock in the morning with these crazy street races. At least 7 people were arrested, and IMPD expects more to follow, and there were several police agencies all working together. Some of these suspects weren't within the same jurisdiction.
I mean, those videos were pretty wild. I didn't want to put them on social media because I don't want to glorify these jagoffs. But, man, it's some pretty wild stuff going on. And when you factor in how understaffed IMPD is, they've got to deal with this nonsense at like 3 o'clock in the morning, which means they're not somewhere where they should be trying to make sure rape and murder and things like that don't take place. All right, before we hit a break here, Nigel, I'm going to play something for you, and I think it's awesome. So, the song Freebird by Leonard Skinner. Freebird!
Yeah.
It's got a kick-ass guitar solo in there. One of the greats of all time. Somebody has done a video where he takes one of those recorders from grade school, like that little flute thing.
Yeah.
And he replaces the guitar solo with that.
Okay.
Now, I've heard this. I'm just asking you right now. Are you ready to have your face melted off?
Let's do it.
It's the best thing you're going to hear all day. Oh, he's killing it. Yeah! This may be better than the guitar solo. I'm just telling you right now.
Well, now that's sacrilege.
That's fantastic.
But that was pretty good. I mean, Gary Rossington, probably a little bit better. I'll go with his version. But at the same time, that was impressive.
As Ron Burgundy once said, agree to disagree. All right, Alan Green is filling in for Matt Bear.
Hey, 465 eastbound jams up from Westfield to Allisonville. 465 southbound, that delays from Crawfordsville down. Southbound collector heavy from Michigan to Fletcher. 69 southbound delays between 96th and 82nd. And 70 eastbound from west to the south split. Traffic is building there. Traffic's brought to you by Indy Decorative Concrete. There's still time to get a patio this season. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts changing the way Indy thinks about concrete. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
88 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. We're going to play Is This Anything next, but first, this is the time where we beg you guys. We get down on our knees like James Brown saying, please, please, like the YouTube feed. Go to YouTube. Look for WIBC. They are streaming the Hammer and Nigel show. Nigel's got a camera on his big head. I've got a camera on my big head. We need you to like the page, like the post. We got to get over 100. So if you could help us out, that would be awesome. The WIBC YouTube page, help us out, hit that thumbs up, and get us over 100.
Back to school season arrives in Indiana. It's time to focus on school supplies and those home projects you've been delaying. Don't worry. With Moss Roofing, you're not alone. They're here to help with your roofing and siding, making sure your home is a safe place for math homework each and every day. Choose Moss Roofing to transform your home's exterior with top-notch James Hardy siding, protecting your home from those Indiana storms and enhancing your curb appeal. Their inspections are always free, and they'll even give you a 3D design link so you can visualize the makeover before they even begin. Talk to Moss Roofing today, a second-generation family business based right here in Central Indiana. For a job done right every single time. I love when they do that. MossRoofing.com, 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, MossRoofing.com. Need a new work truck? Need a new fleet vehicle? Andy Moore Ford has got you covered. Over 800 new vehicles available on the lot, including the Super Duty trucks available starting only at $43,995. You've got F-150s, transit vans, the custom work vehicles for any industry, all built Ford tough, and Rangers with that all-new body style from only $36,995. And of course, you want the cool, fun stuff. They've got the Broncos, the Bronco Sports. I'm driving a Bronco. I own a Bronco Sport. And interest rates as low as 0% APR available on new Andy Moore Fords. And when you need service, Andy Moore Ford will come to you. Just schedule it online at andymoreford.com. They'll come pick up the vehicle, service it, and bring it back to you as good as new. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Visit them on Main Street. Tell them Tony Cat sent you, or find them online at andymoreford.com. That's Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R. andymoreford.com.
Sinus pain. You know it all too well. It's constant. It's frustrating. The pressure, the headaches, the snoring, the constant clogged feeling. You're tired of feeling like this, but you've tried nasal sprays, over-the-counter medicines, even home remedies. No matter what you try, nothing gives you lasting sinus relief. You're tired of missing out and feeling miserable. There is something you can do. Something different. Indianapolis Sinus Center. The physicians at Indianapolis Sinus Center have been serving the community with proven treatments for over 50 years. They know what you're going through, and they're standing by ready to offer you the best treatments to provide long-term relief. Breathe better. You don't have to keep suffering from sinus pain. Call Indianapolis Sinus Center today at 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward relief. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650, or go to IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard air dealer serving Central Indiana.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Nige, you ever been nominated for a Nobel Prize before?
Never. Sorry, no. Don't think I ever will be. I'm gonna try.
Good. Well, good for you.
Still got a few years left.
This year's Nobel Prize winners include a study that found mammals are capable of breathing through their anus. Here are the scientists who discovered that winning their prize for animals breathing through their butt.
The Ig Nobel Physiology Prize is awarded to Ryo Okabe, Yuhei Yokoyama, and Takanori Takebe for discovering that many mammals are capable of breathing through their anus.
First and foremost, thank you so much for believing the potential of anus for breathing potential.
You know what I've discovered over my years of doing this talk show, the Hammer and Nigel show here on 93 WIBC, is that I've discovered that while these guys found out that animals could breathe through their butt, I discovered that many politicians can talk out their ass.
Oh, wow. See? It's not too late for that Nobel Prize.
Come on. I'm putting in my application next year to the Nobel Prize people.
I mean, listen, if they're going to start passing out awards for people who talk about anuses, how have we not at least been nominated before? Kind of feel like somebody's dropping the ball. Is this anything? Jane's Addiction. They're back out on the road. It's the reunion. This is going to be a great tour. Indianapolis is a destination on their tour. Oh, hold on.
Nope.
I'm being told that it's all canceled now because they fought each other on the stage in Boston. Perry Farrell punched Dave Navarro during the end of the song Ocean Size. Dave stayed cool, but was pretty confused. Others had to group around Perry and drag him off the stage. Take a listen.
As they start shoving each other.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Perry Farrell.
And the lights come up.
Yeah. It was Perry. I mean, almost everybody agrees it was Perry Farrell that was the aggressor. I think there's some substance abuse issues there, drinking bottles of wine on stage. Dave Navarro looked like he had no clue what was going on. Like he was kind of dumbfounded by Perry Farrell getting in his face. Punches were thrown. Yeah, the lights came up and then they came down. And now the band released a statement earlier today. Is like, yeah, they didn't exactly say they were breaking up, but the rest of the tour is canceled.
So no indie show if you're a Jane's Addiction fan. Now, Nigel, were you big into Jane?
Nah, I mean, just the big hits. Jane Says,
Been Caught
Stealing, just the big ones. I mean, there's a couple others in there, but I wasn't like a huge... I was more of a Chili Peppers fan with Dave Navarro when he was their guitarist.
So let me ask you this, though. As like the resident alternative rock expert in the city of Indianapolis, you're like the most qualified person to answer this.
Oh, wow.
Who's the bigger star in that band? Perry Farrell or Dave Navarro?
I would say in Jane's Addiction, it's Perry Farrell. He is, the essence of that band.
Like if they both walk into a room, like do people go, oh, wow, Dave Navarro's here? Oh, wow, Perry Farrell's here?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, he's the front man of Jane's Addiction, iconic.
But Navarro's got that pop culture stuff where he's dated Carmen Electra.
A little more visible. Was in the Chili Peppers for a long time. Was also obviously in Jane's Addiction. If those two walk into a room together, okay, I'll put it this way. Perry Farrell's the star on stage at Jane's Addiction show.
Right. But who's the bigger star in
all
life?
around? I don't know.
If they both walk into Kroger, who has more people around them wanting a picture?
Probably Navarro.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
I would say that.
Last one. Is this anything? Some idiot started a brawl at a Panera in Colorado last week.
What?
And an employee got in on it by beating him with a pizza paddle.
Oh, I saw this. A giant pizza paddle. It's huge.
The guy ran off before the cops got there. Take a listen. Oh!
Hey, come on, grow up.
Grow up.
Get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. Call the police on this guy.
paddle to ass.
Yeah, no, paddle to head. That's great. These Panera employees, one of them got the guy, is some like long-haired hippie-looking dude who was like throwing stuff. He got him on the ground. The Panera one employee got him on the ground, kind of gave him like some sort of chokehold with some sort of grappling wrestling move, while the other Panera employee came with this giant square pizza thing and started just beating the crap out of the guy.
Good.
But who does this at Panera? This usually happens at 3 o'clock in the morning at a Waffle House.
Right.
Panera's...
They're not trained for that.
Apparently these guys were.
They need to bring the ringers in from like the Waffle House and let them handle the late night crowds, man. Yeah. They'll show you how it's done. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at Universal Windows Direct. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. 317-659-7574. At Universal Windows Direct, their super spacer technology makes their windows last up to 5 times longer than other Windows systems. So your windows from Universal Windows Direct perform better and last longer. Plus, Universal Windows Direct backs it up with a true 20-year warranty. And listen to this deal going on with Universal Windows Direct. Call today at 317-659-7574, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There's no limit. Plus, what a deal, 0% financing for 60 months. That's right, 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com, uwd.com, uwd.com.
At Shane Company, we'll help you design an engagement ring as unique as your love story. We have the widest selection of diamonds and gemstones for you to choose from, and you can compare them side by side right here in our store. Only at Shane Company can you sift through exquisite diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in a variety of shapes and sizes. We'll help you create your dream engagement ring no matter your price range. Choose the ring setting that speaks to your style, from classic to modern to vintage. We offer so many ways to personalize your ring. Pick your favorite center stone, add a decorative crown and a custom engraving, or select a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, our jewelers know how much your ring means to you. They hand-set each center stone with precision and pride in our jeweler's workshop, so you can feel confident knowing your ring is crafted with the greatest care and comes with an unmatched free lifetime warranty that lets you know we'll always be here for you. Your love story deserves to shine bright. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Pat Sullivan here for Michaelis. Owner Richard Michaelis has seen it all when it comes to water, storms, fire, and mold damage.
Hi, Pat. When that damage arises, we'll respond to you 24/7, 365. Our professionals will restore your business or your home to a pre-loss condition or better. We pride ourselves on being empathetic with our customers, and that includes working through the insurance process on your behalf.
Water, storms, fire, or mold, life happens, and Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Trying to figure out the why. 88, mostly sunny downtown. All clear with the radar, though, with 57 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Police have a lot of work to do in order to figure out the motive behind the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Ryan Hedrick reports.
To start, the police must get court orders to get into social media accounts and electronic devices of the man they arrested, Ryan Wesley Ruth.
And that takes a little bit of time, so this will unfold over the next few weeks.
Former Indianapolis FBI agent Doug Kuhn says police will have to look into how Ruth knew Trump was going to be golfing, given the fact that that outing wasn't on his public schedule.
Therefore, was it intentional or was it something inadvertent? Somebody was overheard saying something in public.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
President Biden spoke about that attempted assassination at the annual National HBCU Week conference in Philly.
America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing and just tears the country apart.
And the president says Americans should be resolving their differences at the ballot box, not with bullets. Most of Indiana is dealing with a drought, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
So we're likely going to see the current drought conditions continue to get worse over the next 2 weeks.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says several counties are under burn bans because the risk of fires has gone up. He says don't burn anything outside unless you absolutely have to, and if that is the case, please be careful. Gas prices in both Indiana and across the country are going down. John Herrick explains why.
That's because gas stations have switched over to a cheaper blend of winter gasoline, and demand also drops this time of year.
For now, the cycle is downward. Indianapolis now $2.99 a gallon on average, with some stations well below that.
Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says the occasional price cycle will make prices go back up slightly from time to time, but he believes for the foreseeable future, many of Indiana's gas stations will be below $3 a gallon. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And at the closing bell, the Dow finished up by 228, closing at 41,622. The Nasdaq dropped by 91 points, finishing at 17,592. The S&P 500 was up by 7, finishing out at 5,633. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
And with traffic at 4:35, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. 69 southbound at 96. There's a report of a stalled vehicle. Can't see it on the camera yet, but traffic slows anyway between 96 and 465. 465 southbound is solid on the west side from 65 to Crawfordsville through the construction. On the southbound collector at Fletcher, there's an accident blocking the left lane, and traffic is backed up from the north split. This report brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear, low temperatures in the upper 50s. Another quiet forecast for Tuesday, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Like I said, Hammer, the biggest thing that disturbs me, besides the fact that Donald Trump has had 2 attempts on his life and within 2 months, is that the guys that made these attempts on Donald Trump's life weren't some, military-style, hardcore individual with training or background or military.
It's not like that
chops,
guy in 75 in Kentucky that was shooting from the woods that they're looking for. That guy is like a trained marksman.
What worries me is these guys were kind of just losers and they still were able to get close to Donald Trump. I'm talking about in Butler, Pennsylvania with the sloped roof. And then I'm talking about this guy in Mar-a-Lago on the golf course that was able to get, over a fence and had like an AK-47 and was firing it near the president. Didn't fire at him. He was exchanging gunfire with the Secret Service when they eventually found him. But just the fact that, imagine it was what somebody could do that knew what they were doing. And that's what really worries me here.
And again, this is a habitual thing with one side of the political scale here. People will always disagree about politics, right? I got that. But you don't try to kill the other side, right? I disagree with everything that Joe Hogsett's doing. I disagree with everything that Ryan Mears is doing. But at no point has it even remotely came into my mind to go extreme next level. That's wild to me. I can't fathom that. But from the Steve Scalise shooting to now 2 attempts on Donald Trump's life, you look at this lunatic that walked into the court today. And Ryan Ralph, this guy was in shackles. He was laughing. It was almost like something out of like a Batman movie. That's how screwed up this guy is. Why are all of these people just so out there, man? These school shooters, these political shooters, for a political ideology that claims they hate gun culture so much, they sure do shoot a lot of people. It's wild. And now President Trump going out blaming the rhetoric of Biden and Harris for a lot of this. Trump spoke to Fox News Digital and claimed that the gunman was motivated by top Democrats, quote, highly inflammatory language. And again, I was told we were going to turn down the temperature after the first assassination attempt where he was actually grazed in the ear. But now, you know, it's been more of the same, if not even more.
Well, it turns out it's been going on for years with Donald Trump, whether the comparisons to Hitler, whether or not he was going to tear up the Constitution, he was going to do away with elections, he's an existential threat to democracy.
Oh, don't you get tired of hearing that crap?
Nobody ever really explains what Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. They don't even know what that means.
They don't know that we're not a democracy either. We're a constitutional republic.
But this hyperbolic, inflammatory language is pumped in through the mainstream media year after year. Russian collusion, for example, that, you know, Trump's going to start World War III. Well, it turns out there weren't any new wars started under Donald Trump. Just everything, sooner or later, some wacko's going to think, I better do the right thing here.
I'm going to be a national hero.
Oh.
I mean, you watched the DNC, that convention that they had in Chicago. I mean, you would have thought that Donald Trump was Adolf Hitler, the way they were speaking about this guy. And again, you just have to motivate one crazy bastard, and he's going to do your dirty work for you. So, yeah, this is a big deal here, and the investigation is now ongoing. There was a press conference that wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. They collected DNA from the area, from the suspect. They spoke to some people that were there. This guy was at the scene for 12 hours.
He didn't, I mean, the schedule, the golf, I just saw the headline again on Fox News. Trump's golf game was off the books. It was off the record. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't like it was sort of in a part of any official schedule, right? It's what it wasn't booked weeks out.
Right.
It's just like a random, totally last-minute thing.
Now, listen, you could probably find the big Trump jet parked near the golf course. I've had a couple people send us that message, but
you can see a bunch of vehicles and the Secret Service and think, you know, let's see, it's obviously Donald Trump's at the golf course.
The son of the shooter, or the attempted shooter, told the Daily Mail that his father did hate Donald Trump, but would not resort to violence.
Oh, sure.
Quote, he's my dad, and all he's had is a couple traffic tickets as far as I know. Well, Orrin, Ralph, you don't know, because there are some previous charges for this guy. There are some charges in North Carolina. There were gun charges. He was not allowed to have a firearm. The son goes on to say that he had a falling out with his father, but called him a hard worker and a great dad. Well, your great dad also may have stolen the vehicle that he was trying to flee with. So many layers to this story, and we're just getting started. And as you pointed out earlier, we haven't even wrapped up the first shooting investigation.
Yeah.
So many questions here. Dateline, Texas, Nige. DoorDash driver in Texas claims he was slowed and later shot at while making a Panera Bread delivery in a remote area by a group of dudes on horseback.
What? What is this, the Wild West? Where was this at, Texas?
It was in Texas. I mean, if there's any state where I guess this is going to happen, like maybe Montana or Texas.
Hold on. Didn't we just a couple of weeks back had those street takeovers by the lunatics racing cars, and then all of a sudden the horses showed up as well.
That's
Guys
right.
on horseback. That was here in Indy.
It was like around 38th Street. I don't know where they pull horses out from over there, but they did. Here is Matthew talking about what happened to him that night.
Not far down the road, I run into a long line of cars. It was clear to me they were looking to start trouble. It was a game to them. One of them dismounts off their horse. Another rider got to my right and blocked me off. And then the guy who gets off in front of me said he was going to pop my right here. That's when I hear, like, basically it sounded like an explosion. I didn't even understand the night when the cop that found the bullet was like, "You're really lucky."
Man. I don't know. Is it bad? The first thing that came to my mind is somebody didn't get their Panera Bread order.
Right. Somebody didn't get the soup.
Somebody's hungry.
Their soup is good, man. That broccoli cheddar.
Yeah, with the bread.
I'm not saying I'd ride horseback and shoot somebody for it, but I'm not saying that I haven't either. Their soup is that good. All right. Place your bets right now.
Okay.
How many Richard Marx songs do you think producer Allison can name in a 5-song montage?
Can name or just honor system and have heard of?
Honor system and have heard of.
Okay.
We're going to find out when we come back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
High five. Up top. Heck yeah.
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep, Dave's feeling it. But it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings. Powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 9/22/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
When it comes to your well, preventive maintenance is the key to reliable water. Right now, C&J is offering a 6-point annual inspection for only $250, so you will know if your well and water are in great shape for the coming months. C&J will check the flow, the switch, the pump, and the pressure tank, and then they'll check for leaks and bacteria too. If it's been a while since you've checked the well, just do it. You can also save 10% on any necessary repairs. C&J Well Company, they're local, they're exceptional, they're affordable. 317-852-WELL.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Are you concerned about rising gasoline taxes? I'm Donald Rainwater, Libertarian candidate for governor. Hoosiers currently pay sales tax and excise tax on gasoline to the state. No one should pay 2 taxes for gasoline. So my plan is to abolish the gasoline excise tax in Indiana. To learn more about my plan to make Indiana government less taxing, go to rainwaterforindiana.com. My name is Donald Rainwater, and I approve this message. Paid for by Rainwater for Indiana.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Indiana Digital Alternative School is a flexible online alternative high school with a supportive team of teachers and counselors focused on ensuring students graduate with an accredited high school diploma. With personalized career coaching and work-based learning opportunities, INDAS is now enrolling grades 9 through 12 and 100% tuition-free for Indiana students. Learn more at k12.com/INDAS. Indiana Digital Alternative School, helping Indiana students earn their diploma and reach their potential.
Based on the last 17 years, we feel like American Standard is the best in the market.
That's Chris Wedekin, owner of Absolute Comfort, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
There is still time to get a patio this season. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, changing the way Indy thinks about concrete.
Head to Suburban Indy's Home and Outdoor Living Show at the Grand Park Event Center this Friday. Catch Hammer and Nigel broadcasting live 3 to 7 and see over 200 home experts, exhibitors, service providers, and more.
All right. Coming up here in just a moment, how many Richard Marx songs can producer Allison name? Place your bets now. We'll find out coming up right after a look at the roads.
And thank you, guys. 465 southbound jams up from 71st to Crawfordsville through the ongoing construction. 465 eastbound heavy Westfield to Allisonville. On the southbound collector at Fletcher, there's a crash blocking the left lane. Traffic stops up from the north split. And 69 southbound before 82nd, an accident right lane is blocked. Back up from 96. This report brought to you by Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park, featuring over 200 exhibitors, September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindyshows.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Yes, and we'll be doing our show live out at the Suburban Indy Home Show this Friday. It's 88 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Producer Allison, I need some mood music.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, it never gets old. It never gets old.
Wow.
Richard Marx, 61 years old today. Happy birthday, Velvet.
Notorious Trump hater. I think he's feuded with our own Tony Katz on social media, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe he has.
Richard Marx had known for some great songs in the 80s, though, for sure.
So I've put together a little Richard Marx montage. 5 songs. I think 5 his biggest hits.
Okay.
How many of these has producer Allison heard of? Now, keep in mind, Richard Marx was in his heyday in the late 80s when I was probably 12, 13 years old, maybe even younger. So the over-under set at 3.5.
Oh, I'm saying over.
Over.
Yeah.
So she's going to get 4 or more.
Yeah.
Now, if you are correct, Nige,
yes,
you will have your choice to either take a shot of this delicious Redneck Riviera Select Honey Apple Whiskey.
Oh, beautiful.
From John Rich, or you could pass it to somebody in the room.
Okay.
If you do not get this correct, Allison will have that opportunity. All right, here we go. You've got the over at 3.5. Allison, let's go.
Yes.
There's one. Don't mean nothing.
Play. Yes, now and forever, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I got this.
2 for 2.
I think so.
That's a no.
I'm going to say no. No.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Yes.
So she only got 3.
these songs all sound the same to me, and I wasn't exactly sure if
Those were like very. I mean, those songs are still around today.
I hear
and
them on
played,
B all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on a
Right.
heavy rotation.
And Richard Marx, say what you want about him, with that mullet, being a super lefty, he married Daisy Fuentes.
Oh, that's right.
That is that's some good work there by Richard Marx. All right, so producer
Well,
Allison.
congratulations, Allison.
Do you want to take this shot of delicious redneck Riviera, or do you want to pass it to somebody in the studio?
You know what? It's Monday, so I think I'm going to take it.
All right,
Good
here
girl.
we go. We
That's
got a
good
ball
stuff,
game
man.
here. I do enjoy the John Rich line here. I'm not
If I
going to lie
remember
to you.
correctly, this is a favorite of mine.
All right, so
There it
Allison
is.
now has the shot in her hand.
Cheers.
Way
Drink
to
it.
go.
Drink it. There we go. Nicely done, producer Allison. Speaking of things from the 80s, Nige, this is from an 80s retro Instagram account. It's a quick TV commercial for Johnson Boating.
Okay.
That features a young couple out on a boat.
Yes.
Very wholesome at first, but then they hit you with their slogan.
Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
Johnson Boating.
I'm going to have to hear that again. Please.
Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
Oh, yeah, just a beautiful night. It's just me and my girl and my Johnson.
Do people still use that term anymore?
Sure.
Like, I don't hear people use it as much as they used to.
I think people say Johnson when referring to the nether regions. for
Allison,
males.
how often do your male friends say
if
the
you're-
phrase Johnson?
I say anyone under 35, probably not.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
I believe the preferred word around here is crank.
Yes. When we have to refer to that region, crank or frankenbeans get mentioned more so than Johnson. Can I please hear it just one more time?
Yes, I want to hear it one more time.
Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
Damn right
Again,
it
that's,
is.
that's Johnson Boating. Those were a brand of boats.
Correct.
In the 80s. Okay,
Correct.
Got it.
Coming up next, Kamala and Joe. They can't believe all of the rhetoric has fired up people to do bad stuff to Donald Trump. We'll talk about that and fun facts for kids. Come on back.
Do you own an annuity? Right now, you could upgrade your annuity and get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. It's true. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. Learn more by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
If you currently own an annuity, discover how you could get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. Bill Demery's the guy that can break it all down for you. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. And it won't cost you a dime. Talk to Bill Demery today. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today. Today.
Truck drivers, it's time to drive for a company that values your time. At Midwest Logistics Systems, you'll get home every day and have a predictable Monday through Friday schedule with occasional Saturdays. Plus, you'll enjoy the convenience of driving out and back routes and hauling no-touch, mostly drop-and-hook freight. MLS drivers also earn performance and safety bonuses and have access to a comprehensive benefits package. Explore our selection of local dedicated driving jobs and apply today at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
It's all in the numbers with Window Nation. They installed over 200,000 windows last year. That's 40 times more than the average window company. Over 20,000 online positive reviews. Do you know how hard it is to get a positive review online?
Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. 0 down, 0 interest for 24 months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. 866-90-NATION. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, street takeovers in the capital city and the problems those present for officers trying to shut them down. It could take some time to figure out a motive behind an assassination attempt of Donald Trump and why drought conditions aren't going away anytime soon. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Heightened security for the former president. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Yesterday afternoon, this country was reminded of the heightened and dynamic threat environment the United States Secret Service and its protectees face on a daily basis.
Acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe at a briefing just held on the second apparent Trump assassination attempt in 2 months. Rowe says after the shooting at a Trump rally in July, President Biden made clear he wants highest levels of protection for Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris.
The increased assets directed by President Biden were in place yesterday. These included the counter-sniper team elements, counter-surveillance agents on the exterior, counter-assault teams partnered with local tactical assets from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, and counter-unmanned aerial system elements.
Rowe says Trump's golf outing was an off-the-record event, but that the security plan worked, that the suspect did not have a line of sight on Trump and never fired his weapon. The suspect arrested in Florida, 58-year-old Ryan Ruth, wrote a book last year urging Iran to kill Trump. He's held on 2 federal firearms charges and has a felony record in North Carolina, but most recently lived in Hawaii.
Our FBI's Honolulu and Charlotte field offices have initiated interviews of several family members, friends, and former colleagues of the subject.
FBI Miami Special Agent Jeffrey Veltri says they're also working to search previous known addresses and electronic devices. Based on mobile phone records, Ruth is believed to have camped outside the Trump golf course with food and a rifle for nearly 12 hours. President Biden condemning political violence.
It solves nothing and just tears the country apart. We must do everything we can to prevent it and never give it any oxygen.
In a social media post, Trump today condemning what he calls communist left rhetoric. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Street takeovers, they were a problem in Indy. Mostly sunny, 88 degrees on the circle. You've got a clear radar. 57 is your expected low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. The suspects poured gasoline in the road and set it on fire. Police in Indianapolis say that's just the beginning of what went down this weekend.
From the early morning hours of Sunday through Monday, Indy Metro Police and Indiana State Police were showered with bottles, rocks, baseball bats, and much more while trying to clear out street takeovers all across Indianapolis.
Both ISP and IMPD are using all the tools we have available to identify who you are and hopefully charge you in the future.
Chief Chris Bailey in a Monday press conference. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Determining the motive behind the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump Sunday's going to take a while, says former Indianapolis FBI agent Doug Coons.
They'll have to get court orders to get into his communication devices, his phone, his computers, to see some of that, and that takes a little bit of time. So this will unfold over the next few weeks.
Ryan Ruth was arrested, accused of aiming an AK-47 at Trump and even setting up a GoPro to film the whole thing. This time of year is normally a dry period in Indiana, but it's a little different this time around. John Herrick explains.
Andrew White is a forecaster with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says this heat and lack of rain is worse than usual.
Yeah, unfortunately, really the next 7 days, there's no shot for rain, and then even looking beyond that, it doesn't look very good in the 7 to 14 day period.
And he says there won't be much relief from drought conditions until October, and even then, there isn't expected to be a ton of rain. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you need to fill up your gas tank this week, Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan has some advice.
We have seen a slight uptick in the wholesale price of gasoline, and we could see Indiana's prices cycle later this week. So if it was me, I'd probably hedge my bets, and I might look to fill up on Tuesday or Wednesday in hopes that prices won't go up before that.
DeHaan says aside from the occasional price cycle, the prices are going to keep dropping, partly because demand is going down and stations have changed over to using a cheaper winter blend of gasoline, typical for this time of the year. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. It's 5:04.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
With traffic at 5:05, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. On 69 northbound at Southport, there's a crash on the right shoulder. 69 southbound before 82nd, an accident. The right lane is blocked. Traffic is backed up from 96. Southbound collector at Fletcher, an accident. Left lane is blocked and a backup from the north split. And 465 southbound slows now from 71st to Crawfordsville through the construction. This report brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear or low temperatures in the upper 50s. Another quiet forecast for Tuesday, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden both speaking out against the second attempt to assassinate Donald Trump over the weekend at his golf course on Mar-a-Lago. This coming from the same party who has spent years disparaging Donald Trump, likening him to Hitler, likening him to a dictator, saying he's someone that's going to jail journalists and rip up the Constitution. So no wonder you have second assassination attempt in as many months from the former president.
This is my TED Talk, okay? If you crazy leftist lunatics could stop trying to murder your political rivals, that'd be swell.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I mean, especially a few weeks out from the election.
And why is it that the party that claims they hate guns so much sure are violent with them?
Oh, boy, are they ever.
Especially when it comes to high-profile Republicans. And I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. Go back to when the Bernie bro, the radicalized Bernie Sanders superfan, shot the Republicans practicing for the congressional baseball game, nearly killing Steve Scalise.
I mean, this is the second time in as many months that there has been gunfire near President Trump. The first time, a couple of months ago, hit him. A bullet hit him, grazed his head. I mean, if by the grace of God he would have turned his head, he had not have turned his head, he'd be dead right now. Now, there was gunplay at Mar-a-Lago on the golf course when the Secret Service saw the barrel sticking out of the brush. The gunfire was not aimed at Donald Trump this time. He was 2 holes away. But they did exchange fire, the shooter and the Secret Service.
And the report coming out today, and I feel like we're going to get a lot more information each day as more and more drips out from this investigation. This guy was at the golf course for 12 hours, kind of scoping it out, making sure he had everything in place. 12 hours. Now, what we don't know yet is, how did he know so much about that golf course? Did he know Donald Trump was going to be playing that day?
That was an unscheduled stop from everything that I've read and consumed. That wasn't just sort of a planned thing that's been on the books for weeks.
So how did he know Donald Trump was going to be there? How did he know so much about this golf course when he doesn't live there?
He was ready for a gun battle. I mean, he had like bulletproof vests and things hidden in the brush there, and a GoPro camera too. So
right, he wanted to film it, wanted to be Blaze of Glory guy, and again from Hawaii, and he's got an estranged son who's speaking to the press. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Just a wild story. I want to know, how did he know Donald Trump was going to be playing golf that day when it was a surprise trip to the golf course? And how did he know so much about Mar-a-Lago? Shifting our attention to the Kamala Harris campaign, there's a new report from YouGov, a new poll, rather, from YouGov that was released on Saturday that says the Taylor Swift endorsement of Kamala Harris not really having that much of an impact.
Didn't move the needle?
Only 8% of voters said that Taylor Swift's approval would make them more likely to vote for Kamala Harris, or even somewhat likely to vote for Kamala Harris.
I mean, look, when 90% of your fan base is aged 11 to 17, I don't think it's going to have that much of effect anyway.
I mean, that's the majority of the base, and then there's Allison, and that's it.
Sorry, Allison. I forgot about Allison. That's my bad.
The poll also found 1 in 5 of those surveyed would be less likely to vote for Kamala Harris because of the Taylor Swift endorsement.
So maybe there was something to that Truth Social post from Donald Trump, quote, I hate Taylor Swift. All caps.
We'll talk to Daisy about that coming up in just a little bit. We'll get a lady's perspective, but I asked my wife about that Truth Social post. I looked at the coupon lady and I said, is this really something that's going to help Donald Trump? Why is he doing this? She looked at me and said, I agree with him. I hate Taylor Swift, too. So maybe, just maybe, there's a lot of people out there that do not like Taylor Swift, and maybe they've got somebody to speak for them now. Listen, we've had a lot of heavy topics on the show today.
Yes, we have.
You know, the attempted assassination attempt of Donald Trump. We got these idiots out in the street making Indianapolis less safe, these street takeovers, throwing things at police officers. I think it's time that we do something for the younger listeners of this program.
no.
I think it's time for another round of fun facts for kids.
It's time for Hammer and Nigel's Fun Facts for Kids.
These are real pieces of information that the younger listeners of our program can enjoy, Nige.
They are also never fun, and they are also never for kids.
Death by a boom sling snake is one of the most painful ways that a human being can die. According to IFL Science, they report that the venom of a boom slang snake causes your body to create a lot of tiny blood clots, which makes it impossible to clot when you need it, resulting in both internal bleeding and bleeding from the orifices, along with severe fever, nausea, and uncontrollable violent shaking.
Fun facts for kids.
Been a lot of talk about dogs lately.
Yeah.
What did Donald Trump say in that debate, Nige?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Kids, if you have a pet dog, please understand this. Did you know that in the Philippines, 300 people die from rabies each year due to infected dog meat that they're eating?
Oh, no. This is awful.
A major reason for the outbreak is the fact that the Philippines National Meat Inspection Commission does not examine dog meat, according to the regional director himself. Aside from rabies, you could also get such diseases as salmonella, E. coli, anthrax, hepatitis, bacteria, cholera, and Ebola.
Fun facts for kids.
That's
40% of little baby ducks, cute little baby ducklings, you see them in the water with their... Sometimes they walk across the road.
Beautiful.
40% die and will not make it to adulthood. The survival rate is awful, and the things that are really problematic for these little cute ducklings are other predators in the water, including frogs, fish, and snakes that could eat them whole, but also bad weather. When hailstones fall, it kills them.
Fun facts for kids.
How is that a fun fact?
According to police records, Jeffrey Dahmer, toward the end, right before he was apprehended, had so many bodies in his apartment that he ran out of room, stored one of them in his bathtub, and then he proceeded to take a shower over that individual every day for a month.
Fun facts for kids.
I'm done. Can we end this segment, please?
Just giving our younger listeners a little something that they can enjoy. All right, Kevin Bowen's coming up next. Daisy after that. Right now, let's break down and have a look at the roads.
All right, on 465 westbound, the off-ramp to Harding is shut down for construction. 465 southbound jams up from Crawfordsville to 10th through the construction, and from 71st to Crawfordsville as well. 465 eastbound traffic heavy from Westfield to Allisonville. Southbound collector at Fletcher, crash has the left lane blocked. And now on 70 westbound before 465, a crash and a backup from Sam Jones Expressway. This report brought to you by Indeed.com. Make the hiring process work for you with Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution. You can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Mark Dietl, as always, the only real estate expert I trust with the sale of my home, and I'd also trust him to find me a brand new home as well. Here's what Mark from Danville had to say. I finished building my new perfect home out of state and needed out of my old place quickly. Plus, to cover the cost of the new home, I needed a big price. Mark Dietl's team was the answer. My home sold in 3 days on the market over my asking price.
Mark Dietl is the best, and what separates him from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is the Mark Dietl guarantee. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today, 755-4232. That's 317-755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. Mark Dietel, markdietl.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. Chiropractic is very important because you're dealing with the nervous system, especially the atlas, which we have a specialty on called
That's
the
the
atlas.
first vertebrae.
Atlas orthogonal. It has a lot to do with the lower brainstem, which is the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system controls everything, including your sleep cycle. People are amazed at how immediately different they feel. I've had so many patients cry afterwards because of the changes, and they come back the next day and say, that was the first good night's sleep I've had in years. If someone has insomnia and they have a misalignment, especially in the upper cervical area, unless I fix that, they aren't going to be able to sleep properly. Nervous system is not just something that we do, it's something we absolutely have to do to get someone back into a proper sleep pattern.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Gallup poll. 71% of non-retired adults are worried about retirement saving. At Howard Bailey Financial, we don't believe retiring with confidence should be guesswork. In fact, our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we provide our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you won't outlive. To receive your complimentary toolkit, text CLARITY to 866-482-9559. Take a step toward a more confident retirement with Howard Bailey Financial and text CLARITY to 866-482-9559.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard air dealer serving Central Indiana.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a very special guest on the hotline.
She is one half of the Chicks on the Right program. The lovely, the talented Miss Daisy joins us. Daisy, your thoughts on Assassination Attempt 2 Electric Boogaloo yesterday?
You guys. I mean, it's just not going to stop, you know? I mean, we talked about this obviously a lot on our show this morning, and Moss thinks that he should just never leave his house again, and I'm like, he should just be raising his middle fingers up in the air, like, screw you, I'm going to live my life, and you guys are not going to stop me, and he should be defiant, just like he's being, you know, because it's just a lot of this. I feel like a lot of this has happened because the temperature of our discourse has not been lowered, and that's exactly what Democrats said they were going to do. I mean, no one should be surprised when lunatics go after a guy when he's been called Mussolini or worse than Mussolini and worse than Hitler, and, you know, he's a threat to democracy and he's this and he's that. And it's like, after years of that, are we surprised that there are like whack jobs out there that want to get rid of this guy and then say, I'm a hero for getting rid of this guy because I'm going to save democracy, you know? I mean, and Democrats are like, oh, wait, what? We're surprised, or it's his fault. And that's what we're starting to see is they're turning you know what I mean? They're turning the discourse now, and they're saying, oh, I mean, he Their reaction to this is just despicable.
Look, Donald Trump said something about the Haitian immigrants eating the cats and dogs, so he should expect this kind of thing.
Right. He just needs to stop encouraging people to shoot him.
Right. Like, that's the thing that I think I hope people start to realize now, that the whole we're the side of peace, we're the side of love, we're the side that hates guns. You're the side that keeps shooting at people, from the Steve Scalise situation at the softball game to now Donald Trump twice.
Yeah, it's just completely getting out of control. And we've gone back and forth. Like, if you look at the Democrat National Convention, most of the discourse was fear mongering. It was this guy. He's a threat to democracy, like the Project 2025, which is a lot of just lies. It's lies, and it's scaring people. And then Obama gets up on a stage and has the audacity to say that the Republicans are engaging in that. So we have been gaslit so hard. And it's a lot of projection on their part, where they're saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that, when they're the party that's actually doing all the things that they're accusing us of doing.
And Daisy, it's not just the politicians. Like that little snide remark Nigel made earlier, we've been talking about that today. That's a Lester Holt, like the lockdown franchise anchor at NBC, opening up his newscast with that yesterday.
Yeah, like Forehead McGee, right? He totally said that.
Looking at him right now. Forehead McGee.
I know. He totally. You're absolutely right. We played that clip on our show this morning too, where it's astounding. I can't even believe the stuff that I'm hearing. Like the guy almost got his head blown off like 2 months ago, and it was bad enough that the media just completely they just swept it under the rug like 3 days later. I mean, you guys, we don't even know anything about the first shooter.
No.
Do you guys know much about him? I mean, it's astounding to me how we don't really know much about it. And now this second guy, we're starting to hear stuff about like all this, the BlackRock connections. Like, what is that? What's going on with that? I have so many questions. I think we all do. People who can think critically. You're looking at all this stuff and you're like, okay, well, we have questions, and why aren't they telling us about the first shooter? Why haven't they told us about it? Like, they give you bits and pieces. When I say they, the government, the media, they give you bits and pieces about these types of events. They want you to know. It's kind of like the transgender shooter.
Right.
You guys, you remember that? It's like why is it that we didn't learn about anything about that shooter until later on, and it was bits and pieces? But then other shooters we know everything about within the first 5 minutes.
Right.
Why is that? Are we? A lot of us have questions, and these people need to do better because we're on to them.
I got to be honest with you. I stopped listening a little bit after you said Forehead McGee, and I haven't stopped laughing since then. Like, I've never really thought of Lester Holt's forehead before, but now that you bring it up,
I can't stop looking at it.
Even Peyton Manning's like, damn, that's a big forehead.
I know. I think it's more appropriate to call him an 8-head than a forehead.
It's got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater.
Right. There you go. You're never going to unsee it.
Daisy, we're a week removed from the infamous debate, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, and the two moderators on ABC, David Muir and Lindsay Davis. Maybe just take us back to your overall thoughts on what you witnessed last Tuesday with that debate in Philly.
It was so brutal. It was 3-on-1. He had no chance, and it's kind of like a lot of what I expect. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but then when I was in, like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh my God! I mean, our country, man, we have just become a dumpster fire. It just shows it solidified that our media is in charge of so much, and the media is in bed with the Democrats, and it just solidified all of that for me. I hope that if there is a second debate, which we have no idea if there's going to be one, that it will be with someone like a Fox, or it'll be with a third party, like some sort of alternative media person. Like, God, it would be great if it was with like a Megyn Kelly or with a Joe Rogan or somebody like that, or it's like a town hall type situation, because I think that's the only way that Trump will be given a chance. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't hold his own. He's fine. But you guys, he didn't have a chance in that situation. They fact checked everything that he said. They didn't fact check anything she said. I mean, she's like, we have no troops that are in combat zones right now. I mean, the stuff, just the smallest things they could have fact checked just to make it look like they were at least trying to be non-biased.
I mean, Daisy, she pulled out all the hits with the Charlottesville good people on both sides and the bloodbath comments that have all been debunked. And they didn't say bupkis to her about
it. Everything. Not one thing. I mean, it was just despicable what we witnessed. And anybody who believes in our constitutional republic is looking at that going, we have devolved. Like, there is one side that is in charge right now, and it's not our side.
Daisy joining us from the Chicks on the Right. So before the second assassination attempt in a couple of months came down yesterday, people were talking about Donald Trump's post on Truth Social, I hate Taylor Swift. All capital letters. I think there was an exclamation point, maybe 2 on the post. What do you think in terms of that as a strategy? Because honestly, when I first saw it, Daisy, I thought, man, this isn't going to be something that's helpful.
I did too.
But the more I sit back and think about it, you know what? The Swifties are going to vote, for Kamala Harris anyway. Let's be honest. I asked my wife, I said, hey, do you think this is going to hurt him with suburban women, with women? And she looked at me and goes, I hate Taylor Swift. I bet there's a lot of women like me that hate that broad too.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, as a mother of a teenage girl, I feel seen. So yeah, he speaks for me too. I don't like Taylor Swift either, but I will say that this definitely gives fresh meat to the other side. Like he just needs to ignore people. Just ignore her because she's, to him, she should be nothing. Like, I think that's the only thing that bothered me about that particular tweet, or I don't know what you call them on Truth Social, but he should just ignore people like her because she's inconsequential to him, And I think when he does stuff like this, it gives her more fuel, and it gives the left more fuel, and it's just like he should just be like, whatever, I don't really care what she thinks, because you're right. I mean, the Swifties are going to vote for whoever they want to vote for, but what I was seeing before he did that tweet, and it may still be happening, but there are a lot of those the Swifties or Taylor Swift followers who are Trump supporters. And they were starting to come out on social media and say, they were using some of her songs and they were saying, hey, it doesn't matter what you say. I like you, Taylor Swift, but I'm still going to vote for Trump. And so, he was getting an organic response, for him, opposing Taylor Swift from those Swifties who love him. And I wish he would have just let it go and let that happen organically.
I'm glad she endorsed Kamala Harris. The last person Taylor Swift endorsed lost their race to a Republican. So,
right.
Like,
and it's not like she's a good judge. I mean, she's the one who makes bad decisions all the time about everybody and everything. So it's like, okay.
100%. Yeah. All right. What's coming up on the Chicks on the Right?
Well, I feel like we're going to probably be talking a little bit more about this assassination attempt tomorrow. So everybody should tune in tomorrow morning. It is 8 Eastern. Check us out, chicksontheright.com.
The lovely Miss Daisy. Daisy, as always, we appreciate your time, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Let's break down and have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Well, the cops are looking for 88 degrees, partly cloudy downtown. Your radar's clear. Temperatures tonight are expected to drop below 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:31. Police in Indianapolis are on the lookout for dozens of suspects involved in a violent street takeover from the weekend.
This weekend, we had an enormous and egregious number of incidents involving violence against IMPD officers, state troopers, and our community.
At least 7 people were arrested while police were trying to clear areas, says IMPD Chief Chris Bailey. No officers were hurt, but several suspects are accused of throwing rocks, bottles, and using baseball bats on cop cars. There was another assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump Sunday. Martin County Sheriff William Snyder explained to Fox News how suspect Ryan Ruth was found.
Both north and southbound I-95 shut down. He's in the middle of it all. Never asked, hey, what's this about? And when I saw that, I realized he knew what time it was. He knew that the gig was up and that he was caught.
The 58-year-old was spotted in the bushes before the attack, and as Sheriff Snyder said, he was later found on I-95. The head of the Teamsters Labor Union, Sean O'Brien, met with Vice President Kamala Harris today, though he has yet to give an endorsement.
Joe Biden's been great for unions. Joe Biden's, obviously done a lot of work. Now we want to make sure that work is carried on.
O'Brien told reporters the union's board will talk things over Wednesday about a possible endorsement of Harris. Most of Indiana's dealing with drought, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
So we're likely going to see the current drought conditions continue to get worse over the next 2 weeks.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says many counties are under burn bans because the risk of fires has gone up, so you should avoid burning anything outside unless you absolutely have to, in which case make sure you're being safe. And IU football, they're 3-0. Head coach Kurt Cignetti said Monday their approach is simple.
We want to keep improving as a team, and we've got to have a great week of preparation. It starts with the staff, and stay humble and hungry as we prepare for this next opponent.
It could be a fourth consecutive win against the Charlotte 49ers this Saturday. They're just 1-2 in the year. Kickoff for that game is 1 o'clock. And with the look at the roads at 5:33, what's going on, Alan Green?
Hey, Harrison, 465 southbound is pretty solid on the west side between 71st and 10th through all that construction now. 65 southbound is heavy from King to the north split. Southbound collector slows from the north split to the south split. 69 southbound tightens up between 96 and 82nd from an earlier accident. This report brought to you by Indy Decorative Concrete. There's still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. So, no subcontractors ever. Big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Alan. And here's your forecast for the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear or low temperatures in the upper 50s. Another quiet forecast for Tuesday, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Kevin Bowen is one part of the Wake Up Call, the morning show on our sister sports station, 107.5 The Fan. KB, I think a lot of people want to hear your thoughts on Anthony Richardson, and we're going to get there. But first, I want to talk about Shane Steichen, because I don't know about you, but as a fan, I am sick and tired of these 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s, where you've got a quarterback that's built like a linebacker, a really good running back, and you get too cute and you don't extend the drive. It seems like we've seen this each week. Maybe I'm just being a fired up, irrational fan. Your thoughts?
No, I couldn't agree more. I thought yesterday was another sad example of, what you draw up and think is a great mastermind on a Tuesday on the whiteboard. All of a sudden you get to Sunday and you don't read the game. And if you read the game, Jonathan Taylor's having one of the best games of his career through 3 quarters. And to your point, it's a huge 3rd and 1, and they decide to do a speed option pitch to their slowest running back, Trey Sermon, and it's his first carry of the season. So, yeah, I didn't get it at all. You had the 3rd quarter break in between there as well, so it's not like Taylor was, tired. You would think he'd be arguably as fresh as he's been in quite a while. So head-scratching, eerily reminiscent of last year, 4th and 1 against Houston to end the season there. So, yeah, I could not agree with you more.
And why was Jonathan Taylor out of the game? And it seemed like he missed a little time in the 4th quarter, too. Did I miss something?
He did not play a snap in the 4th quarter, and so I think that's why there were some injury questions afterwards asked. But, again, Steichen and Taylor both said injury was not a reason for his absence. Again, I thought the 3rd and 1 was an absolute must-have him on the field. As far as the 4th quarter playing time, I think he should have been out there for some plays, but they did go kind of full pass, full hurry up. And, to be honest, Taylor, at times he's a bit of a liability as a receiver. You did see that in the game. He dropped a big 4th down earlier in that second half. So, again, I think if you're going to parse out the 2 things, 3rd and 1, inexcusable to have him on the sidelines. For the 4th quarter, to have him out, not on the field for the whole 4th quarter, yeah, that's an issue. But I can somewhat see the Colts thinking in that.
Kevin Bowen, 107.5, The Fan here on the Hammer Nigel Show. Earlier this morning, I was able to hear a little bit of your show, and you were talking about the Colts reliables and how the reliables didn't even show up. Who do you consider the reliables, and tell me more about their performance yesterday?
Yeah, it sounds like a Gridiron Gang spinoff. All of a sudden, ESPN football prison movie here. Yes, side of the building guys. Nice guys are on the side of the building.
Yep.
Guys that have the captains on their chest, the C on their chest. Guys you pay a lot of money to. AKA, you're saying they are reliable. I'm talking Quentin Nelson, 2 critical penalties. Kenny Moore, several missed tackles, and not enough playmaking when Malik Willis did throw the ball. Michael Pittman Jr. has not looked like a number 1 wideout early in the year. I'd throw the kicker in there, Matt Gay. And then lastly, Chris Bauer's biggest core belief is the defensive line, and just an absolutely historical, awful run defense performance for the second straight week, but especially yesterday in allowing over 260 yards. It's one of the higher paid defensive line groups in all of the NFL. So, yes, the reliable – again, you expect volatility from your young quarterback. That's to be thought of. But the reliables cannot fall into that category, and way too many of them did yesterday.
And because there's so much money on that defensive line, because you spent your first-round draft choice this year on an edge rusher, and it doesn't seem like you're seeing any benefits of that, does this mean Gus Bradley's seat is a little hot?
I think it should be. I don't think he is necessarily the full pie in terms of all the trouble, but I think you have to start, much higher than him, frankly, in the organization. But I understand how this works. Oftentimes coordinators become mid-season scapegoats. But certainly schematically, again, that was embarrassing to go from week 1 to week 2. And, the week 1 excuse was this, Hammer. Oh, we're defending C.J. Stroud in the pass first. Okay, I can kind of hear you out on that. Malik Willis can't throw the ball from, you to Nigel in studio right now. So, again, it's just inexcusable to have given that up, especially early on in the game. You don't even force Willis really into any stressful situation. So do I think it is? Do I think it should be? Yes. But typically with how the Colts operate and how staunch they have been with their support behind Gus Bradley, I'd be a little surprised if they consider it warm at all.
All right, so let's move on to Anthony Richardson. I think a lot of Colts fans knew this was kind of a project. This was a young kid coming out of Florida. But the scouting report has always been big, strong athlete, amazing, powerful arm. He's got a rocket, a cannon, but he can't make the easy throws. He doesn't put touch on the football. Now, the receivers probably didn't do him any favors yesterday, but Richardson threw, 3 interceptions? Could have easily been 4 or 5. Curious as to what you're seeing with number 5.
Yeah, I thought the worst start of his young career. Looked like a guy making really his first kind of true road NFL start. I don't know if he felt the need to press as they got down as early as they did, but, the thing about Richardson yesterday that he's done a nice job of is he largely has stayed away from the turnovers. Usually – and he showed it in week 1, he can give you this home run ability. And then for the most part, he doesn't throw a lot of, again, turnover kind of risky balls. At least we didn't see that last year. But yesterday you didn't get the good, and then you got the extra bad. You didn't get any of the big plays, from a playmaking standpoint down the field. And then Green Bay, again, turns him over 3 times. He also dropped the ball on a snap. He, missed exchange. Again, way too many turnover-worthy plays. So, certainly the worst game of his career, as you accurately pointed out. I didn't think the offense, particularly the pass catchers, helped him out enough. But still, having said that, individually, if you're going to grade him on yesterday, that was a poor day. Cannot have that combination. You can live with some big plays, ideally coupling it with, just incompletions and, balls that hit the turf. And, when you do have a poor possession, it ends in a punt. But when you have 3 interceptions like he did, just a really, really poor day based off what we've seen so far from him.
All right, KB, last thing here before we let you go. We got about a minute left here. Bigger story coming out of this weekend. Purdue having their doors completely blown off by your Fighting Irish, or the Hoosiers going out to UCLA and blowing the doors off of a bad Bruins team. What's a bigger deal? What's a bigger story?
Yeah, I think it is Purdue. You know, Ryan Walters is a defensive-minded head coach, and it hasn't been a successful defense at all in a short stint there. And then you have the worst loss in 137 years of Purdue football. I mean, Notre Dame should keep the drum for a couple of months after that victory there. So I think you have to go there. But at the same time, I do want to acknowledge IU. And the thing that was impressive to me about Saturday night, they go on the road, the Big Ten coin flip type game. They've been in a lot of these in recent years, and they seemingly lose all of them. And yet they were the smarter team. They were the more disciplined team. I don't think it's uber flashy, but I just think it is a well-coached, disciplined bunch that is going to get you north of 6 wins. And, again, I think that's an important step under Kurt Cignetti. So I'm very high on what IU has shown just without the self-inflicted stuff. But when you have the historical nature of Purdue's loss after a bye week and in your own stadium as well, you got to go with Walters and Purdue.
Nigel, I have to tell you what I saw KB do earlier today.
Okay.
I'm going down the hallway and getting ready to go to the can, and Purdue superfan Todd Meyer is in the hallway. Longtime Garrison producer, now working over the Fan, Todd Meyer. Todd asks Kevin Bowen, "Hey, Kevin, how you doing?" Bowen's response, without even, missing a beat, "Better than your Boilers," and just walked off like around the corner. Like, on one hand, it's a very strong D-bag move, but on the other hand, I respect the hell out of it.
That's unbelievable.
Well, I almost screenshotted the Purdue basketball tweet from yesterday, and it was very fitting. Purdue basketball tweeted out, 50 days until we're there. And I'm thinking, that is right on cue. Right after the football team has their worst loss in 137 years, here's the basketball team saying, "Don't worry, fans, we're 50 days away."
And it was just such a rare moment that Todd wasn't being an a-hole himself. Hey, Kevin, good morning. How you doing?
True.
Better than your Boilers. And just walked off like a boss.
A little bit of Todd's own medicine is what he needed.
Absolutely.
What's coming up with the big show tomorrow?
We got Rick Carlisle joining us at 8 a.m. So we have Rick on during the Pacers season at 8 a.m. every single Tuesday, and he's going to join us coming up tomorrow. They're 2 weeks away from their media day, so it's about to be here in a hurry. So always enjoy our conversation with Rick.
Kevin Bowen, 107.5 The Fan. KB, we appreciate you.
You bet, guys.
Fall in Indy is great, but don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Does your job require you to be on your feet all day? Teachers, postal carriers, salespeople, and restaurant staff. Many of us need our feet to get through the day. Hi, it's Phoebe with the Good Feet Store, and I'd like you to hear from Donna. She's a nurse and a real Good Feet Store customer who wanted to share her story.
Oh, I have to tell you, I have struggled with pain in my feet. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis. With the 3-step program, it really fits to your lifestyle. I work in a hospital. I'm a registered nurse, so being on my feet, walking throughout the hospital during the day, I am free from any type of pain. And after working a 12-hour shift, I go home and my feet do not hurt.
Whether you're a nurse like Donna or anyone wanting to enjoy work without your feet getting in the way, come see us at the Good Feet Store. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Good Feet Arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free personalized fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome. Helping people live pain-free, 2 feet at a time.
Truck drivers, it's time to drive for a company that values your time. At Midwest Logistics Systems, you'll get home every day and have a predictable Monday through Friday schedule with occasional Saturdays. Plus, you'll enjoy the convenience of driving out and back routes and hauling no-touch, mostly drop-and-hook freight. MLS drivers also earn performance and safety bonuses and have access to a comprehensive benefits package. Explore our selection of local dedicated driving jobs and apply today at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
Hey,
Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Progressive Insurance offers you auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today. That's Progressive.com.
Chris Wettigan here, owner of Absolute Comfort. Go to AbsoluteComfort.org to lower your monthly bills.
Savings on heating and cooling at Absolute Comfort, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Head to the WIBC contest page and enter for your chance to win 2 tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra's brand new show on Thursday, December 19th at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. And while supplies last, you can purchase tickets for just $49.99 plus fees.
Alan Green has a look at the roads.
Here we go. 465 southbound is solid on, on the west side between 71st and 10th Street through all that construction. 465 eastbound, heavy Westfield to Allisonville. 70 westbound before 465. A crash has a left lane blocked. Traffic is stopped up from west. And 465 eastbound slows from the Dogleg to Ditch. This report brought to you by Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show at Grand Park, featuring over 200 exhibitors September 20th through 22nd. Tickets are only $7 at suburbanindyshows.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Okay, more of the Hammer and Nigel show coming up after 6 o'clock. Everything you need to know about the second attempt made on President Trump's life. That's here in just a few minutes. Hammer, I was watching this footage of a 55-year-old dude in New York City. He stole a tow truck, right? But the tow truck was loading his own truck on the back. So his vehicle was getting towed. He's like, screw this. I'm stealing the tow truck. Drove it around the road, crashing into cars. His own truck that was on the back rolled off and was totaled. This guy's name is Russell. Here he is. You can see here the calamity here, stealing the tow truck and wrecking his own vehicle.
Get down. Put the truck down. Put the truck down. Get away from this truck.
Oh.
Cut it out. Nobody's taking this truck from me. Yo.
Oh, gee.
Oh, my
Again,
God.
The sound of a man stealing a tow truck that was towing his own truck out of he's illegally parked or something like that.
So isn't that like something everybody has thought about when they're driving down the road? If there's a tow truck in front of you or one of those trucks that has other cars on it, what if they came flying off?
What if you were getting towed at the very moment you were getting towed? You decided to step into the front seat and steal the very tow truck that was towing your truck. That's another thought that popped into my head. Haven't we all wanted to do that at some time or another?
I don't know if we've all wanted to do that per se.
I've had my truck towed a couple of times. It sucks. It's very inconvenient and it's expensive, and sometimes it's a scam.
Right.
Sometimes those tow trucks are a total scam, and they're in collusion with some of the businesses that put up those signs. If you get towed, call this number, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but imagine just the look on your face when you're standing on the side of the road. You're already pretty defeated because your car has to get towed.
Yeah.
And then you see somebody stealing the tow truck towing your car. It reminds me of that scene in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, where they're standing outside of a gas station or a convenience mart, and they realize that Neil Patrick Harris has just stolen their car. And I believe it's
Forgot about that.
Harold that looks at Kumar and says, "Did Doogie Howser just steal my bleeping car?" Yes. Yes, I believe he did.
All right, real quick. What is slowly killing you?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Let me finish.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
What's slowly killing you, but you really enjoy doing anyway?
My answer remains the same.
Indianapolis Colts. There was nothing enjoyable about that game yesterday. So, like, not surprisingly, a lot of the answers in full vice is like tobacco, alcohol, drugs. But there's some other stuff too here on this list. Slowly killing you, but you really enjoy doing anyway. Binge eating.
I'm a binger, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm trying to be better in this weight loss journey, but when it's my free day, man, I'm like a dog that just has a big bowl of dog food. I can't stop.
Sugar. Everybody knows sugar's a silent killer, slowly but surely. Now, here's one that we both can identify with here in the 30 seconds we have left. Energy drinks.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I do the sugar-free stuff, right? We do the sugar-free calorie, low-carb monsters.
Right.
Right?
If we're going to have an energy drink, at least we're trying to be somewhat good at it, right? We're just talking ourselves into it at this point, right?
Please, pour me another.
All right, more on the second Donald Trump assassination attempt coming up next.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or